Turn it up.
Oh, listen to that.
Is that
Dang,
the
listen
oh,
to
the
that.
vibes?
Oh.
The vibes.
Oh.
Let's go. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Winners Lounge. Let's go. A Saturday night Winners Lounge, a DNVR Nuggets Takeover Winners Lounge. And can I be honest? This game was over in the first quarter. The first quarter, we got 3 quarters. This is the longest we've ever had of a party. It was a party for 3 quarters tonight at Ball Arena. You know who was very lit? The Takeover.
The Takeover.
The Takeover was going wild tonight. You, if you were at it, actually, those guys are on their way back to the bus. You'll probably hear them. You'll definitely hear them. They are very turned up because tonight was one of those nights where if you were at Ball Arena, you got to cheer hard at the beginning of the game, and then you were like, oh, we're going to humiliate them, aren't we?
It was about conserving your energy for 3 full quarters of losing your mind.
No joke. Halftime, I was a little exhausted from the vibes.
Hey, shout out the crowd who set the tone. Saturday night energy. The Nuggets followed suit.
It was fun. We're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. How did we do, Dev?
We did our thing. Like tonight was one of those nights for the Nuggets and for Dev.
Let's go. Dev likes.
There's no video of you. I love that you're just off screen while you're giving us this. Let me just introduce the guys real quick. I got right here, we have Saturday Night Vogt.
How's everyone feeling?
Cocktail in hand.
Another show with the fellas?
Vogt always has the energy, man, on nights like this.
Come on, these are the best nights of the year.
These are the best nights, man. Over here, the rock star himself, Superstar
What a
Dev.
game full of highlights. Like, that was fun. Like, it truly was an ass-kicking from start to finish, and I loved it. I loved it.
I love this empty seat with you.
It's very
a
weird.
really good look. I like it. I dig it.
for sure. Just a loner.
Since we were at the Takeover tonight, I don't have great notes, but I will do a fast recap, and you can find out exactly when I stopped taking notes. All right, should we do it?
Let's do
it. Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
To open up, Murray, way too big for Trey Jones. Way too big. The Nuggets right out the gate were like, you know what? Let's go to Jamal Murray. And guess what? Jamal Murray cooked him in the post. You bring Jokic out, you kind of give him that little pick and roll action, then get him on the post entry, let Jamal go to work, and he was so comfortable. I thought in this game Jamal Murray looked like he had a confidence boost from the last game. Maybe it was also a confidence boost from Trey Jones just being too little. But whatever it was, he had the swagger, I thought, in the first quarter tonight that was the same that he had in the fourth quarter of last game. A little carryover there, and that's a great note. He had 9 points in the first quarter, 4 of 4 shooting. He was 3 of 3 on Trey Jones. But here's what's so great about it, Dev. When they switched Trey Jones off of him, 3 minutes to go, or I don't know, sometime in the first quarter, his confidence remained high. His swagger remained high. So it was one of those things where he's just feeling it. First, this is going to be a big talking point today. The first quarter rotation, absolutely flawless. Absolutely flawless. Michael Malone deserves a lot of credit. I've hinted at this over the last couple games, but I thought the Nuggets had kind of discovered exactly okay, it's the most blended lineups we've ever seen from the Nuggets, in particular with Michael Porter. And when you can go with the starters for 5 minutes, then you bring Bruce Brown in for MPJ for 4 or 5 minutes, and then you come back with a bench unit that features Michael Porter to end the quarter, flawless. And what happens? The Nuggets go up 40 for the second time in 2 games. They dropped 40 points in the first quarter, go up 40-27. But now it's the second quarter, guys. Time for a little lull. False! Bones Highland is back from injury, and that means the bench unit is flawless as well, and this curb stomp is on. The party is on. Bones and Bruce, the backcourt of Bones Highland and Bruce Brown, they're both very, very quick. When you have 2 quick point guards, they were just slashing, man. They'd get the ball and just take turns attacking the paint. Spurs on the second night of a back-to-back had no ability or interest in trying to stop them. Nuggets running up the score. And here's second half, more of a party. Starters come out and do their thing. And then in the third/fourth quarter, Bones Highland comes in, and I'm telling you guys, the Nuggets have never had a player like Bones Highland for when you are up 20 points. Bones Highland might be a top 99th percentile garbage time. It's not usually call this like the human victory cigar. The game was still like you still needed to play well, but when you have the confidence of, hey, we're not on a razor's edge, we have a good pet cushion here, just let Bones start shaking. He just didn't stop. That was an exhibition game in the second half, and Bones just lit it up.
Highlight reel.
He went for, let me see here, what was the final line for him? 24 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 6 of 8 from the three-point line.
Turnovers?
I'm doing the DraftKings Sportsbook King of the Game during the fast recap, guys. That's never happened before, but it's so obvious. Bones was so good tonight. Though, one quick note I want to get into, not a lot of fouls from the Nuggets tonight. Not a lot of free throw attempts for 11 of 19. I guess they just missed a lot of free throws, but not a lot of free throw attempts, I didn't think, for Denver. Denver wasn't playing the bonus, putting them in the bonus. And they open this game up and dominate from start to finish. All right, Dev, what's your biggest takeaway?
I mean, we say it often, and I think you have to go back to the well and say it again. Every Nugget is good. Every single Nugget is good.
This is the most true it's ever been, though, I think.
Honestly, that was you want to talk about highlights? You want to talk about just like finding a rhythm and getting yourself going? This was like the most complete game of the year for the Nuggets, and I don't think that there's any team that would have been able to stay with them when they have a night like that. The offense looks great. The bench unit looks great. Defense was on. Like, this was a complete game. And it starts with the starters just continuing to dominate. It's great to see how that's coming along with the staggering and everything like that. Like, everything just seemed perfect tonight in front of the home crowd.
I've never seen them take care of business like
This is the thing. This is the thing. We've seen the Nuggets be great, and then they fall asleep, and then a unit comes in that you don't really love.
And we've even seen this final score before, but it's never I don't know if it's felt quite like that. And okay, first quarter, the offense is unbelievable, but they haven't played defense yet. All right, bench comes in, they clean that up. They start playing D. They dominated this game in transition, guys. Headed into the fourth quarter, the Nuggets had 21 transition points to 0 of the Spurs transition. That's been an area that they've struggled with last couple years. Tonight they dominated it, but they clean up the first half, and then, okay, you got a big lead. Are you going to finish the half strong? Yes. Are you going to come out strong in the third quarter? Yes. Are the bench guys ready to play the non-Jokic minutes to start the fourth? Yes. They just checked every box. And I know the Spurs are a not great team coming off a back-to-back. The line tonight was like 11.5. Denver was supposed to win big, but they did more than that.
They won by 25.
They did more than that. They took care of business.
And it was over by halftime. I mean, honestly, the third quarter was a bit of a formality because Denver can take their foot off the gas and then let a team back into it. So it's just can you keep it even or whatever? But they didn't just keep it even. They rolled again. They just showed them how good they are. I love your take, Dev, because every Nugget is good. What I would rather say is the Nuggets pieces fit together in a way that when everybody's healthy, and by the way, this is one of the first times we have seen it with everybody being healthy.
Right.
After game one, now you rest Murray for the other game, then you have to rest another player. Then Bones is hurt, and then, somebody's out here or there, and it's just been a little bit of a weird rotation. KCP missed some time. But tonight was the night where you're like, what does it look like if everybody plays? And to your point about every Nugget is good, the starting lineup, great. Very good. Bring Bruce Brown in for Michael Porter. Maybe better. Honestly, maybe better. Or at least as good. Then you bring Michael Porter out and you give him Bones. So you have Bones and Michael Porter. 2 guys that at any moment can just microwave, get hot, score on, Bones Highland right now is so shifty, man. Like watching him in person tonight was really nice to be at the arena just to see the speed. Because it's like, honest to God, like watching him tonight, I kept thinking, what would it look like if I was out there? Honestly, Dev, what would it look like if I was out there? Like, it would be like I was a statue.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun. Like, and he would go to it. And those guys, like, they're killers mentally. Yeah. So they're just gonna continue to go after you and after you. Like, just even thinking about what Jamal did to Trey Jones in that first.
You're right.
They're like, hey, this is something that we're gonna do, and until they adjust, we're gonna just continue to do it. And that's what's great about this type of game. It was just mismatches everywhere, and they're like, hey, we're gonna make them like try to get us.
If you've ever pushed yourself, I'm saying like some people won't have this experience, but if you're a good player, you've been in a situation where you've been guarding someone where they scored on you again. And, like, the moment when a coach says, hey, man, we got to switch off, that's a low moment, man. Like, because you're like, I got him. Like, all right, but you got to, force him left or something, here. Then they cook you again. It's like, all right, Deb, we're going to take you off him. We're going to put you over here. It's like,
we're going to try Eric.
It's like this. Yeah, we're going to try Eric now. We're going to put Eric over here. Like, anything Eric will do, he won't do worse. That's like, man, it's a low feeling. But you're right. That's how it was. But Bones tonight, when you give him and Michael Porter, you get two offensive weapons out like there, and then you have Jeff Green. And I'm going to say it, guys, DeAndre Jordan's been good too. Like, DeAndre Jordan did his job tonight, and then Christian Brown. That's 10 guys, and they fit together in combinations that are like, you know what? I like every single iteration of it. And every Nugget is good. Yeah, we've been saying that for a couple years with different groups of players and this or that. But never more so now where I'm like, every configuration of the Nuggets is good. And to me, that's the big takeaway. I've thought it since 4 or 5 games ago. We just haven't seen it. But once you start to see how much Malone was starting to stagger and do this or that, I was going, I think it's going to work whenever they arrive at it. Yes, tonight was against a not good Spurs team. I know their record is 5-5, so they look mediocre, but that's not a good team, guys. That's not a good team. That's going to be a bottom 5 team when it's all said. Second night of a back-to-back. They're not going to beat every team by 25 points. But guess what? The Nuggets, as good as they played tonight, they also didn't have to try for a half because they were up by so much. I think this Nuggets team has been, I don't want to call them a sleeping giant because we all knew they would be good. But when I watch, we're 9 games into this, I watch it and I go, there's so much positive stuff that I wanted to see it come together. And tonight is, they played like the team I thought they would be when they all came together.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to downplay that type of situation of them on the second night of a back-to-back and it being the Spurs. Like, yes, it's a bad team, but we've seen this Nugget squad lose to bad teams. Exactly. We've seen them not show up and show out on, the second night of a back-to-back for another team. So for them to just go out there and truly handle business, like you were saying earlier, Vogt, that's what the separator was. That's where, you start to make that change and just go after teams. And they're seeming to start clicking at the right time. It's early in the season. The team looks healthy. The team is starting to get themselves going offensively. And it's only going to get better from that. They walked into their best performance of the year. And it was because they was not pushed.
Right.
But that's what you're supposed to do against those teams. So the Nuggets showed up and did exactly what they were supposed to. That's why you have to be happy about that performance.
They're going to be Terminators by January, man. I really believe it.
I mean, there's some things they're going to have to work out.
Totally.
Some of the defense, this or that. But I'm telling you, and I look at it tonight, they didn't really shoot themselves in the foot. They did have 16 turnovers. I'm looking at Jeff Green had 4 because I was trying to think of who had turnovers. They had a couple turnovers. I didn't think they fouled too much. That's one of the differences. The Nuggets, when you don't foul, I feel like they can be good. That alone will get them to average defensively, and then you can raise it from there. But they were just so comfortable tonight on offense. Let's start with Nikola Jokic, though, as we get into talking about some of the players here. 21 points for him tonight, just 6 rebounds and 10 assists, 2 steals. He goes, what?
The 6 rebounds? I know you're bummed about that.
For who?
For Yoke.
I couldn't believe that's what he was. I would have expected him to get all of the rebounds.
Can I tell you, though, rebounds to me are the best indicator for Jokic's, like, how much is he pressing. Like, to me, 6 rebounds was, I wasn't trying tonight.
Yeah.
Like, that was, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because I know there's been talk about Yoke needs to be a leader. I'm telling you, watching him in person tonight, I thought Yoke's energy level was fantastic tonight.
It was the best it's been all year.
I think Jokic was extremely engaged, and his numbers were only 21. He was 9 of 10. He only took 10 shots. He went 9 of 10. But I'm telling you, tonight Jokic dominated every possession, and more important than dominating, we've watched Jokic enough. We kind of can tell how he's like, how he feels about a game on any given night. Jokic tonight was like Peyton Manning up 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
He was out there calling audibles, just doing his thing, and he was like, this is fun, man. Everybody's exactly where they're supposed to be. Everybody's making the shots you're supposed to. And I don't know if the ball was popping tonight. They had 30. Here's what's crazy. They had 37 assists, which is the lead number. The reason I say I don't think it was popping, it only took 1 pop per possession. Like, Denver would run an action, get it to an open player, hit it, and you're like, wow, it only takes 1 pass right now. I think the Nuggets, Jokic tonight looked like his best self. And I think it was like a very, very good Jokic game.
When Jokic is able to get 6 rebounds and then the team gets 53, I don't think they care. They're doing exactly what they want to do, and he's not having to give all that energy there.
So
also,
true.
with Jokic, I think that he really was locked in and engaged in this game.
Too,
like,
man.
the speed was there.
Yep.
Like, he's like trying to blow by guys and get to the rim. He had a tomahawk dunk, but also the one thing that's different, we're starting to talk about Jokic's passes again.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that we're starting to, like, have the excitement for. We got so used to these 30-point performances and being able to dominate in different ways. He's back to having fun with basketball, it seems like, and that's what's great. At least in this game, he got back to himself, where I think that he looks at that game, he's like, I'm content. Like, I really liked it. We blew a team out. I got to chill in the fourth quarter. I got everyone else involved, and I got to get back in my bag. So that was a great performance by him, and it just shows, like, he is himself. He's him.
And it was actually, to start the game from him, it was a horrendous effort defensively, but there was a moment when everyone turned it up, and he got in on that too, and he got some steals, and he started working harder, and I mean, he was great. The starters just absolutely rolled.
I'm telling you, and again, this was a bad Spurs team. I don't want to overreact, but the Nuggets just haven't had that many 25-point wins, in the Jokic. It's one of the things we've talked about, that they don't get a ton of easy ones. And yes, this was a bad team, but tonight I just thought Jokic looked like Peyton Manning with 4 elite receivers, 2 great running backs, and an incredible offensive line.
You know what
He
else?
just looked like he was out there doing it, whatever he wanted.
They're finishing his highlights this year too, which is so satisfying.
Yeah, it really
after
is.
the last 2 years.
It's so true, man. It's so true. Michael Porter tonight goes 6 of 10 from the field, 3 of 6, plus 27, a game high plus 27. I was surprised he played 30 minutes tonight. That was the weirdest note to me, is at the end, I know we have the stagger, and maybe that was all it was that they were just trying to keep him playing or whatever. But they were up 30 points when he came back into the game.
He's going to lead the team in minutes by accident.
He's probably going to hit him. But he had 15 points and 9 rebounds. He continues to rebound the ball very well. And again, 3 of 6 from 3, 6 of 10 from the field. He just remains efficient. I will say, only 10 shots. Actually, here's what's crazy. You want to know the craziest stat here I just saw?
Yeah.
He had 10 field goal attempts, second most behind Bones, who had 17. He had 10. Jokic had 10. Murray had 10. Aaron Gordon had 6. KCP had 6. Jeff Green had 9. Bruce Brown had 9. DeAndre Jordan had 6. Bones had 17, mostly at the end. But like that, everybody took no shots, man. That's an incredible thing.
That's why it feels great. You know what this is? Remember when they first traded for Aaron Gordon and they were rolling, and a great many guys stepped up and had great individual games tonight, but they didn't win because of any one individual game, including Bones. They won because it was like, oh yeah, that guy's going to be open a lot and he's a good shooter, Yeah. You're just like, oh, they're hard to guard.
Yeah.
Full stop.
The ball was like it's popping clearly if everybody's getting involved in, getting around the same amount of shots. But when MPJ was on the floor, everything was smooth. Everything, went the way that they wanted it to go. And he's like getting like so acclimated. Like, you don't look at him and think he's not, knowing where the plays are. He's not a part of the offense. And things like that. In person, it was like great to see him like move without the ball, and they're like setting screens for him to come off of and get himself set up. Also, he continues to just shoot 50% every single time. Like,
he's at 49%, and I'm so bummed. He only needs one more. I think he needs to go
he can easily get there.
If he can go 4 of 7 one game, it'll be like, all right, he's back to 50%.
Yeah, and he's going to get there.
They actually just have to let him shoot the 7th three. It's been a few games since.
True.
Easy game for him, but also like we've been emphasizing that stagger. A plus 27 in the game just shows like he's getting it going with the starters. He's getting it going with the backup unit. Like, he has arrived like with just knowing where to be on the floor, how to get himself going, how to be able to score in other ways, and also now he's a beast on the boards again. He's back to grabbing every single rebound, and I feel like that's why Jokic didn't get every board, because if he's going to be involved as well, let me just get out and start going. So positive things to see from MPJ, and knock down every shot you take.
I also think just his gravity, the effect that he has on the court right now. Also, this happens with rebounding as well, but mostly it's just with the spacing he provides. It's underrated. It's one of the more underrated aspects of the season so far. The Nuggets had a 145.2 offensive rating with him on the court tonight.
And it's what you
That's insane. 1.5 points. Every time they came down the court, they scored 1.5 points when Michael Porter was on the court.
And it's what you talked about in the pregame show. The reason why you're like, let's get him more and more involved. It's not just about how many points can he get, but at what point does the defense drastically overreact?
Right.
As they have to do with Steph. And he's not that level off ball and never will be. But can he keep getting there to the point where they're as worried about him, on the floor somewhere as they are about stopping Jokic, and at that point, not much you can do.
Let's take our first break. On the other side, I'm going to talk about who I think has been the most under-the-radar great player for the Nuggets this season. Who is it? Who is it, guys?
I'm glad to talk about it, but first let's talk about Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. I'm telling you guys about the Broncos country beer right now.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, I was going to say, you know what we got today? Because when you're on the party bus, you get...
Slinger.
Yes, that one too. But Breck Brew always like sponsors these, Breckenridge Brewery, and they give us a cooler. So everybody gets on there, gets 1 or 2 beers. They're like, however many you could drink between the DNVR bar and the arena, which is like 10 minutes. But they brought in an entire Vanilla Porter Jr. pack tonight. Did you see it?
No.
We have some tonight. You should try it.
Oh,
I haven't tried it either, but they have Vanilla Porter, Vanilla Porter peanut butter, Vanilla Porter raspberry, Vanilla Porter, I think chocolate. Like they have like these different flavored Vanilla Porters.
I want that right now.
I saw it too, and I was like, I gotta work, but I'm gonna later on.
Yeah, you're telling us right now for some reason.
Did you have one, Kel?
I want
the cookie. There's Vanilla Porter cookie. How was it? I can't wait. Vanilla Porter Jr. Cookie Edition.
I need it right now.
There's a whole Vanilla Porter pack.
There are a lot of...
You guys, somebody go out and find that. Use the Breck Brew locator. Put that one in there. If somebody find the Vanilla Porter Jr. pack, send us photos of you getting it. You want to try it.
There's your Breck Brewery. Check out the Breck beer locator. It's actually a sick tool. They've got a lot of different flavors. So you punch in where you live, what you're looking for. They tell you where to go. Really easy, down to the 10th of a mile. And then, obviously, if you come to the DNVR bar in York and Colfax, you're going to have a lot of Breckenridge Brewery options. They're the official beer, and they're good friends of DNVR, and we want you to check them out. Check out the new Funslinger Lager, which we tried tonight. Got some good reviews from some of the Takeoverettes. And Broncos Country, of course, from Breckenridge Brewery. The Broncos Country Pale Ale. It tastes better than the Broncos offense. You know what tastes delicious? Hassel Cattle Company, that sweet holiday beef train. Hassel Cattle beef is raised in Texas on a family farm. And to tell you the truth, fellas, it's the best damn Wagyu beef you'll ever eat. And it's shipped straight to your door. If you go to HassleCattleCompany.com, you can secure your bag of beef and use code DNVR20 for 20% off your entire purchase. As DNVR20 for 20% off. Of course, when you're buying holiday beef, you're buying your holiday beef in bulk, baby. Get 20% off of that bulk with DNVR20 at the Kings of Wagyu, Hassel Cattle Company.
All right, guys, the Nuggets tonight, listen to this, is the craziest stat. According to Cleaning the Glass, which filters out garbage time, which in this game was like 10 minutes, well, they filter that out. The Nuggets had a 131.3 offensive rating, and here's the craziest thing. 71.2 effective field goal percentage. That's the 99th percentile. It's probably the single best game that we've had this year, top 2 or 3. 71.2%, because, yes, as somebody pointed out, you have that offensive rating. You score 100, and how many points did they score? 126 points. The Nuggets played a slow pace. They only made 5 free throws tonight.
Wow.
Think about that. They made 5 free throws. James Harden averages 5 in the first quarter alone. The Nuggets as a team had 5 total, and they put up that offensive.
And they weren't even like bombs away from 3. They just hit every shot they took.
They shot 60% from the field, 52% from three-point line tonight.
Unreal.
Absolutely unreal. The offensive firepower. Here's the thing. The Nuggets were coming into tonight the number 1 three-point shooting team. I believe they were still number 1. I didn't actually check between the last 2 days. And then they come in tonight and make 15 of 29. They're going to remain the number 1 three-point shooting team.
Yeah, and only 45 points off of, three-pointers, and they scored 126 points. How are they not getting to the free throw line? Like, that just shows how, everything really was clicking for them, and they're knocking down everything where you don't have to get to the free throw line.
They were so good in transition, too, man. All those easy buckets.
My guy, Dragutin Markovic, guessed it. KCP, in my opinion, has been the most under-the-radar great player for the Nuggets this season. Now, he missed a few games, and maybe that was part of why. But here's the thing about KCP. He went 2 of 3 from the three-point line tonight. I believe he is shooting above 50% now on the season for the Nuggets and on the second highest volume. I'll try to check it up here while I'm talking. But here's the thing about KCP. He has been such a low mistake player. I knew KCP's game, obviously, from this or that, but I didn't know if he was going to be a guy that was like, some nights he's blocked in, sometimes he's not. Sometimes he's not where he's supposed to be. Goes off script. It was one of the things I remember talking about him as a scouting report in the offseason. You talk to some people in Washington, like sometimes he pushes it too much and he tries to get to that mid-range or whatever. I'll tell you what, I could count on one hand the amount of times KCP has done something this year where I've been like, I didn't like it. It never happens. He plays incredible defense. He's always in the right spot. He knows how to cut. He knows how to space. He knows where to be. And he is currently shooting 53% from the three-point line. 53%. Are you with me, Deb? I think KCP, we barely talked about him. And honest to God, he's been great every game.
I think that's why he's so good for the Nuggets is because he's just he's a perfect fit. He doesn't stand out in the wrong ways.
Right.
He's part of the offense and the defense. He's able to defend people and make it hard every single time without getting all of the glory after the games and things like that. Like he just fits so well that you can't be upset with him. And like you said, not a lot of turnovers, not a lot of mistakes. And that's while being the new guy and still having to learn these systems and things like that. But that's what you need from a vet, a guy that leads by example where he's not, going out and playing different than what he's been in the past. There's been, negative things to say about him in the past. None of those things have came yet. Right. Just a perfect fit with the Nuggets team, and they're lucky to have him right now.
I honestly, when you look at where the Nuggets are, and their offense has been humming over these last few games, you look at where they are, I think a lot of it has to do with, obviously, we've talked a lot about Bruce Brown. He knows how to play. We'll get to him later. Michael Porter, Jamal Murray are such talents. Jokic, such talent. Gordon, 2 years with Jokic, he really knows how to play now. KCP just has walked in and knew how to play. I mean, honestly, it's unbelievable how quickly he was like, I know exactly what to do here.
And that's just in space. I don't even know if he knows all the plays or actions yet. There's a lot of times where guys are telling him where to go, but whenever there's just sort of a play breaks down or transition or anything, he has such a knack for finding valuable space. And at circle of trust, guys, if a ball is pop in possession, finds him or Porter, he's just as high as Porter for me right now. I'm oh, that's a wide open corner three, bucket.
Especially in the corners, man. He just gets to those spots. I mean,
bucket.
Michael Porter, his shots come from step backs and sides. Sometimes I'm but I have faith in him taking them, of course. But I'm just saying they come from there. KCP's just in that corner all the time, man. Don't you feel like he's just always catching it there? And you're oh, yeah, that's...
And I thought tonight was maybe the most I've noticed him defensively so far. Yeah. And I think he's been good in every game, but tonight he really...
Four steals.
4 steals.
Yep.
And he was... That's the thing. The offense was rolling all night, but when they turned a switch and pulled away, they were all right, we're gonna get some stops. For these 5 minutes, we're gonna get some stops, and he was a huge part of that. Yeah. He look, when he was in Washington, some people were frustrated because I think he explored his game a lot on a worse team. But it's like he was in LA. He knows exactly what they need from him, and he's not trying to do much more.
Yeah. Unbelievable, man. He's been great. Let's get to Bruce Brown now. He was a plus 17 tonight. He had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. One of my notes, and I'm going to do this here over the next week. Maybe it's something I'll do for Monday. The Bruce Brown-Jokic synergy is just off the charts.
Yeah.
Those guys, in part because they're both weird. Oh, man, the party bus just rolled up, so they'll be rolling in here.
It's about to get very different.
It's going to get very different. The energy's about to change. But Bruce Brown, man, him and Jokic just have, especially in transition, such a chemistry with Bruce setting the screen on Jokic. They run it both ways, but primarily they run it with Bruce as the roll guy. And Bruce is such a good decision maker on the short roll, and Jokic is obviously so elite, that they run it, he slips it every time. Jokic either attacks. Tonight they had one of those where Jokic, Bruce slips, it forces the on-ball defender just to take one step off. Jokic gets going I don't want to say maybe it is like a freight train because it's not super fast. It's just that you can't stop him. Once you're backpedaling, Jokic just if you try to get in front of him, he'll belly you out the way or something. And Bruce Brown creates those with the way that they run in transition screens. It's an elite weapon right now, and I think Jokic loves playing with him.
You have to love playing with him. He plays hard defense. He cuts. Makes the right decision, and also you don't have to put the ball in his hands for him to be effective. He catches you by surprise every single time. He surprisingly shoots the 3 ball really well. He surprisingly can defend multiple positions. He doesn't get put into mismatch situations where he's stuck on a big, or even if he is, they're not attacking him. I feel like he demands respect every single time he's on the floor. But also just 2 guys that just mesh so well with the guys around them. He's a perfect Denver type of player, a perfect Jokic type of player.
Let's go.
Oh, they're ready.
Let's go. We're ahead. That's hilarious. All right. Keep going. You good?
I'm good.
You have anything on Bruce Brown?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I had no idea how athletic he was. I watched him in Brooklyn. I watched him fill the gaps in Brooklyn. He is so springy.
Yeah.
And he can just take you off the dribble. I knew he could find valuable space, hit the floater, wide open from the corner, he'll knock it down. But I didn't know he could just face you up and take you off the dribble the way that he has. So he's a much better on-ball player than I realized. They're going to have a hell of a time trying to keep him in Denver. Almost certainly won't be able to because teams should give him more money. But gosh, I hope he's a Nugget for as long as possible.
I really hope so as well, man. He belongs in Denver.
It's perfect.
All right, let's get to the man of the hour tonight, and that's Bones Highland. We talked a little bit about him at the top, but 24 points, 7 assists, by the way, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 6 of 8 from 3. Oh, let me start with this. We talked just a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago about who can get the hottest, right? Not who's the best shooter overall, but who can get the hottest. Twice now, Bones has made 6 threes in one game. Twice this season. And he missed, 2 or 3 games? So already he's done it multiple times. Bones is skyrocketing up the list of players that is capable of getting hot.
Oh, and not only that, I mean, you guys touched on it earlier. He's the best guy to have at home when you're up 20. I think if you buy a home Nuggets ticket and the game goes really well, at this point, I think you're there for the Bone Show as much as anything else in Ball Arena. He's going to get you off your feet. If you're close enough to the court, he might high-five you. Yeah. I mean, there have been better players in Denver. I don't know if there have ever been players that get these people up and off their feet.
Bones is electric. Like, every single thing about him is electric. Like you said, he's in the crowd. He has his gestures. He's making insane passes. Like, he just does things on the floor that other guys are afraid to do. He does not care. And they've given him that type of freedom to be himself. He's super witty with the ball.
Yes.
And a couple of those passes today, sheesh. Nobody else is making those passes, especially in their second year. This is coming off of an injury that set him down for 2 games. And he comes back and he's knocking down threes. He's getting out in the open court, and he's still being flashy. And that's just like what you want, especially from a young guy that can get everyone else going. There's guys that are leaders, and then there's guys that are just like energy type of. Yep. He's a spark plug in every single way, where every single person talks about it. Talks about it every single time. Like, he's so full of energy, and that's in practice, that's in games, that's just to get everybody's adrenaline up and going. And he's great. Like, that was a crazy good game from him, where it's just highlights the entire time, and he just got them going.
What have we heard about the summer? Who stood out in the summer in workouts?
Bones.
What do we hear about training camp? Who's been standing out in training camp?
Bones.
And then even this week, when he missed a game, we went to practice. Who was the best player at practice?
It's Bones.
I'm telling you, there's so many things right now, and it's been muted. Part of why I've been so high, and the Nuggets were 5-3 coming in tonight. It's like, still, it's early. Things could break one or two ways. So we don't know, and we still don't. But one of the reasons I was sitting here going, okay, well, the starting 5 I know is good. Starting 5 with Bruce is good. I think Jeff Green is good. I think Christian Brown is good. Like, there's some combos here I like. You put Michael Malone. But the reason I thought it all comes together is I think Bones might just be a little bit ahead of where everybody kind of thinks he is. Is it going to be like this? No questions asked. He's a second-year player, and he still has some volatility to his game. But 6 of 8 threes multiple times out of 5 games that he's played this year, and he already has 2 games with 6 out of 8 threes, and they don't feel abnormal. The crossover he had in the corner, step back 3, those are plays where you're like, man, that was perfect defense. Bones didn't care. And watching him in person, I'm telling you, I'm doubling down, Dev. Doubling down on my take that his closest comp is Kyrie Irving, basketball-wise. He's so quick with the ball. Yeah. He's so quick that if you're guarding him, there's nothing you can do. And then the fact that he has a pull-up, they're not perfect. Facsimiles, they're not like a perfect copy. They're not the same people.
I was just saying, maybe distance himself from that comp.
Guys, I'm just talking basketball. I'm talking basketball. I'm just talking basketball.
I have to say it.
Just talking basketball. But the way he dribbles and how quick he is, it reminds me of Kyrie, where it's like, I don't know how even good defenders can stay in front of him.
Yeah, and he sees that, and he's so confident in himself because he works on his game and has progressed so much, like in just 1 year. The ball is on a string. He's able to break anybody down off the dribble. He can stop on the dime and get a 3 ball up. He can also shoot the 3 ball like so well, and he has like unlimited range with every single thing that he's doing. Like, Bones Highland is just good at being himself. Like, like really, that's what it is. Like, no one else is really having that type of confidence where, you put he's a backup. Like he's a second-year player, a backup point guard who can just get everybody inspired, who can just score in so many different ways, but also the passes. You got to see the passes today. So just a uber confident type of player that just can get it going.
Yeah. How are we feeling now after this game? Like, what's our confidence level in the team?
Really high, really high. I mean, look, the defense is a thing that still can be a lot better, and until it looks great, we're not going to feel ultra confident. But the offense looks so good, and it doesn't feel like they're in sixth gear or they've hit their ceiling or anything like that.
Yeah.
Jokic is honestly still in third gear.
Yeah. This is the thing. Jokic has way more to give. I mean,
and you did this in the show yesterday. Like, you talked a lot about, or actually on this pregame show, for as many things go into organizational success, like, sometimes nothing really matters more than do you have one of the guys.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets have one of the guys.
Definitely.
And that's why they've been a contender for the last 3 years. And so we haven't even seen that factor yet creep in where you go, oh, that's why I believe, because he's the best player in the world.
It's like a boxer that's only giving you the jabs.
Yes.
You know, right now it's just a bunch of jabs, and you're like, man, throw the power punch. So I don't need to.
So if
You could have won this in the first round. Yeah, we won in the second.
But
didn't even throw my right. I just kept throwing the left. You know what? I'm being serious about it.
For sure.
I get why people want to see that, but I'm telling you, I'm so confident in where they are right now. My confidence level in this team is very high. I'm not saying that I know that they're going to a title contender or this or that. I'm saying that I think that they're going to be able to do the things they did tonight more easily than we've seen in the Jokic era.
Yeah.
What the ceiling is, we'll find out. But
yeah, I mean, in those type of games, like, just show you like what it looks like when they're clicking at all, at all times. And also, I would love to see them do this against a really good team too.
Yeah.
Like, but this is a type of kickstarts that you need to like get yourself going, confidence, showing that like, hey, this is what it looks like when we pass the ball to every single. This is what it looks like when we're engaged on defense. This is what it looks like when everybody is locked in on both ends of the floor. So you have to be high on a team like that after a performance like that.
all the Nuggets are good, and then even on a night like tonight, Aaron Gordon was good, but wasn't needed.
But then
Michael Porter was good, but not even that needed.
But then even AG had 3 of those hustle tip rebounds. You know what I mean?
That he kept
it wasn't his night, but he still got involved. So it was just awesome.
It's great to see. All right, let's hit our last ad break. On the other side, we got a couple things to get to. Harrison Wynn, live from Ball Arena.
Oh, yeah.
But we also got a bunch of people in the house right now tonight that we might have hop on the show, talk a little Nuggets with us. There might be a little hyped up from a party bus. We'll find out. We'll go through that here on the other side.
This ad break is brought to you by, first ad read, Denver Health Medical. It's open enrollment time for individual health plans now through January 15th. Denver Health Medical Plan offers Elevate Exchange plans available on the Connect 4 Health Marketplace with great benefits and affordable plan choices. You can also call direct at 303-602-4912 and sign up online at denverhealthmedicalplan.org. That's denverhealthmedicalplan.org, or give them a call again at 303-602-4912. Remember, folks, open enrollment for exchange runs November 1st to January 15th, and enroll by December 15th to have your coverage start on January 1st, 2023. Call today, 303-602-4912, or visit that website. We talk, we have deals for beer. We got deals for marijuana. Now we're trying to get you covered. Get that insurance, We're trying to cover all of our bases here. DraftKings Sportsbook is America's top-rated sportsbook. That DraftKings Sports King of the Game tonight was Bones Highland, but you can all be kings of the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. So many ways to play, so many ways to win. Just use code DNVR when you sign up. If you're a new user, you can place a $5 NBA moneyline bet, and you can get $200 in free bets if your team wins. That's $100, that's any $5 NBA moneyline bet to get $200 in free bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
We're already rolling.
Oh, boy.
We're already rolling here.
Here we go.
All right.
Hold the mics closer.
Yeah, pull the mics in nice and close.
Right.
You can point it right at your eyeball if you want. There you go. All right. All right, introduce yourselves real quick.
I show up on the chat as Ben Mack.
Let's go, Ben Mack.
Sometimes it's best just to share your screen name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's it. That's the intro.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm the tall friend. My wife is the general.
Yeah.
I hang out with her. She's pretty cool.
My favorite person. There's the Venn diagram of Denver Nuggets diehards and birdwatching diehards is 2 people. Me and Jen. It's me and Jen. What do we have here? We're doing a strip show here.
no.
Kale, be ready to cut the camera here.
This
might be too high. Look at Kale actually did.
This
He actually
segment's always
did
a little
cut that.
dicey.
There we go. Die hard. Hell yeah, bring it back.
Let's go. I do request.
There you go. You do request.
And I love birds, and I won't flip you off.
All right.
But I do.
Well, so far we're great. All right, gentlemen, start with you. Give me
Yeah.
your analysis of tonight's game. What stood out to you? What's your big takeaway?
Oh man, that they had a great third quarter.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and
That's true.
that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see them not let off the gas.
Right.
And they really didn't. And after that first timeout, they came back in and just punched him in the mouth, and that's what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that.
No, not be relentless, not be let up. We were talking about it before.
Yeah.
The Nuggets don't have a lot of 30-point wins. You know,
Yeah.
like they have a lot of like 20-point leads that turn into 5-point wins. But tonight, I mean, it was a butt whooping. I mean, that's what for you stood out.
You called a 20-point win.
I did.
And you way underset that mark, right?
Well, 5
So-
points. 5 points.
For me, it's the Bones just
I love it.
having fun, being Bones. And the reason I bought the T-shirt, the jersey, and everything Bones is because of his energy and his just work ethic and dropping threes and taking suckers to their knees.
What about
It's a roll of the dice. We live with it.
Yep.
What's so funny, though, is Bones, they're up 20, 30 points tonight. Bones is not just scoring. He's kind of clowning guys.
Oh.
And I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it. As
Totally.
a fan, I love
Oh,
it.
so good.
As a fan, I love it. But at the
And
same time,
I feel bad for the 30 Spurs fans that were disappointed at the game tonight.
yeah.
I really do.
One guy was getting clowned on his way out, man.
Really?
I
He was
got
having a
flipped off
bad
by
night.
one
He
Spurs
was having
fan.
a bad night.
It was the only Spurs fan I saw that night.
All right.
But other than that,
It was
I
that
had a
kind of a
great
loss.
time.
Yeah.
Your favorite team
It
gets
was.
beat so bad, you're catching shit on the way out. I just showed up to
You're like, I was a
support.
polite fan and I was
I didn't-
quiet. It's like,
yeah.
but you look like a clown. But Bones, man, I'm telling you, we were joking as we were watching the fourth quarter. Like, Bones is going to get punched one day. You know, honestly, like,
Oh,
think about
he's
how
been punched before. He'll take it. He'll take it. He survived a
It actually
fire from
already
the second floor.
punched
The
by
punch
Brandon.
is
Who
going
was
to
it?
face him?
Who was it?
I don't think so.
Brandon Good.
I don't think so.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Brandon Goodwin
Nuggets
punched him.
legend.
Did you see
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
He threw a punch at him.
Oh, you're only going to hurt your fist if you try to punch me at this point.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I love that he doesn't mind just kind of getting down and dirty a little bit.
Also,
making fun
great
of guys.
call out on the. That was a good timeout. It was looking like
It was.
a standard third quarter for the Nuggets, and Malone was
Totally.
like, "We're not doing this."
Yeah,
We're
and
not
that,
doing
and you
this.
know, it wasn't like, I mean, I'm an Irishman, so I love Malone.
Cheers.
And I love Malone.
And
but,
drinking.
Like, it's good to see him not do a rage timeout all the time. Like he's catching it a little early,
Yeah.
a little earlier than he used to. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
It's an interesting
Yeah.
point.
How was the party bus tonight?
Oh, it was
How were
on
the
fire?
How was the vibes coming back?
There was a dude that nonstop danced to the DJ the whole time, and I was enamored, and I loved it.
Yeah, people on the side of
Yeah.
the street were like,
Yeah.
What's going
Oh
on?
yeah.
Yeah.
I pulled down my window, and we got 20 other people to be DNVR fans.
There we
You're
go.
just
Along
screaming
the way.
DNVR advertisements out the window.
It was like the amount of Spurs fans were at the game was the amount of DNVR fans we attained
Yeah, wow.
as
that's
we rode
true.
home.
How much do we owe you for this great marketing? This is absolutely
A high
incredible.
five.
A high five.
That'll
You
work.
got one.
That'll work.
Let's hit one super chat here with the fellas before we cycle out. Do we have other people that are wanting to hop in? If you're wanting to hop in, come on over.
We have
Let's
two
take
more
one.
if you want it.
Let's take a super chat here from Mike. Oh, he says, I love this one. Nuggets domination, vibes immaculate, party bus on my first DNVR visit. Best birthday ever, no question. Guys, you guys were great. Tag out. We'll get a couple new ones. Yeah,
Good to
for
see
sure.
you, fellas. Good stuff.
Tall
Adam.
friend, we'll hop on. We'll let
Adam,
another guy in
this is
here.
a rare guest here. I believe we have a strictly podcast listener, but
Never
not a,
watched the live show.
Never watched the live show. 100%.
Sit in, pull it in nice and close here. All right.
hello, everyone.
Only ever. Go ahead. I didn't mean to
Only
interrupt
ever listen to podcasts at 5 a.m.
you. Yeah.
So a year ago, my son, who's 2 now, was 1. Get up at 3 a.m.
Okay.
First thing
yeah.
I would do, listen to you guys telling me about what happened to the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I live in London, so it's a long ways away from here.
And you know how I know he's pod only? Because I knew he knew who we were, but he asked me if I was Harrison Wind.
He has the hair. He has the hair.
I love it. Yes.
I was like, come on.
I'll take it.
I love it.
I'll
Wow,
take
that's
it.
like a literal never seen us. That's incredible.
Literal never
Yeah.
seen you. I was like, he has the wind in his hair. He's got to be Wind. I was wrong.
You'll never let him.
They're
live
both
us
equally
down.
as gorgeous. It's about equal.
Did
Oh,
you see
thank you.
Harrison
Thank
tonight?
you.
I did not.
Okay, so I was going to ask you what better hair because it would have been great if
I
Harrison
just got
gets
great hair.
derailed.
So I live in London, and this guy right here would pass as a posh British gentleman.
Is that a compliment?
I don't know,
No,
actually.
it really is.
Also, I'm
You're like,
Irish.
hell yeah,
I'm Irish, and I'm like, yeah, British.
British banker making all the money. That could
All right.
be you.
Wow, that is
That was
so
a
you. That's
roller
really-
coaster of compliments. And
Just take it.
Yeah,
take it and
just
run.
take
Take
it.
it and run.
All right, tell us about yourself.
I'm a Colorado native. I
What part?
Denver, straight Denver.
Straight up Denver,
Yeah, straight
all
up
right.
Let's
Denver.
go.
Been a Nuggets fan my entire life. I love this show. Obviously, it's why I'm here. Love Colorado sports. I've been following the Nuggets what feels like forever now, and I have watched them struggle, and I'm just excited to be part of. I'm excited to be a part of a legitimate title contender. And
Let's go.
This year.
Let's
I
go,
hope it's
Alejandro.
this year. I hope it's this year.
So, what's your favorite Nuggets team?
Gosh. Okay, my favorite Nugget team was the last George Karl team.
Yeah,
That was just
2013.
53
Yeah.
wins.
That's a good
right?
pick.
Yeah.
57 wins.
57 wins. That's
yeah.
what it was. Yeah. I love the up and down. We couldn't defend to save our lives, but we always scored, and it was just fun to watch.
I'm telling you, a lot of people who are lifelong diehard Nuggets fans, that's their favorite year. And I
Yeah.
think it's because that team was very easy to root for. It was a little surprising. Like, one of the
Absolutely.
things that makes a season fun is when you exceed expectations. The expectation this year is a championship. Hard to exceed it. You can only meet it. But when you're like, I don't know if we're going to be good or not, and then you're literally the best regular season team ever, it's like, oh my
we
God.
don't have to talk about the playoffs, but you
Well,
know.
we don't. Why are we bringing
The
up old
09
stuff?
Nuggets still were like that, right? Like you had.
But they had expectations. The 09 Nuggets honestly met expectations. They were supposed
met,
to be
but
a
didn't exceed.
contender.
Yeah, they.
Right.
You,
I
did- you got AI.
No, that was before.
Yep.
AI is
Oh, you're
06, I believe he arrives, and 09 is 08 is when he leaves
You're right,
to
you're
make
right,
room
right,
for
right.
that
Great
team.
Aaron
So.
Flalo year, right? That was
Yeah, yeah. You guys, a big takeaway from tonight's game. We'll start with you.
The Nuggets looked amazing, right? Your 30-point lead going into the third quarter. They looked like the Nuggets that we expect them to be.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
This is the Nuggets I want to see all season long. If they're going to win the championship, and this is the year,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
the Nuggets
This
are
is
gonna
the year.
this is how they have to
So
work.
your confidence, like, was this you seeing what you thought you would
The
see?
last 3 games,
Yeah.
I agree.
up till now,
Yeah.
this is what I want the Nuggets to be.
Yeah.
And if this is them, then we're going to win it all.
Yeah.
However, the first 3 games, plus losing to the Lakers, that's not the Nuggets I want to see.
Losing to the Lakers. I mean, look, the Laker game for me, I'm not like that concerned by it. I mean, Denver's had some injuries. This is what we were talking about earlier on the show. It's just that there were some things that I was like, you know what, it makes sense that Denver lost. Not trying to make excuses, but I was just like, you know what, I saw the things I needed to see. Let me see when the team comes together. Tonight they came together and stomped, and I'm so
Other
encouraged.
than, though, the Nuggets going out to LA and having a fun time in LA,
I honestly don't know if that was it.
You know what, man? If you look at teams who have played teams twice this year, they're almost all going one-on-one, one
Yeah.
and one.
Which will be
Yeah,
interesting
true.
for
When they
Monday,
play
by
the
the way.
Spurs on Monday,
we'll find
yeah,
it'll be a
yeah.
completely different game.
find out.
What's your big takeaway?
I think the third quarter was the most telling for me.
Yeah.
We had a huge lead going into the third in OKC, and I was
Yep.
like, well, we'll see what we get coming out of halftime. I think Malone's early timeout set the right tone, where it's like, all right, boys, you guys are already down. It is put up or shut up. I need
agree.
you guys to defend right now and come out like the team I know you guys can be. We held that lead going into the third, and we came out on top because of it, and I love our third quarter performance. We need to keep that third quarter energy up going into the fourth and let Nikola rest. The healthier he can be coming into the playoffs, the better chance we have. That two-man game is coming together, and I am so excited.
I love it, man. I love it. Let's get to some super chats, Kale. We'll have our friends help us out with the super chats. Tyrell says, MF and Bones.
Yes.
Baby, vibes, vibes. Tyrell.
Co-sign. Strong agree.
I agree with everything you wrote. Bones indeed.
No
MF
notes.
and Bones. You guys, what do you make of Bones'
Oh, he
performance tonight?
crushed us tonight.
I was incredibly happy to just see him running the offense. His assists, I think, is the most important
Yeah,
thing.
he was
that
balling.
offense was clicking, not just because he was scoring, but because he was playmaking, and I love that from Bones.
I had some people in my mentions tonight saying the ball sticks a little too much for him.
a couple
A little bit,
plays, for
yeah.
sure.
I wonder how much of that is the second unit, just the texture of it. Like, is that a lineup where you want the ball moving?
Right,
A
right.
whole lot? I don't know. I do think there's going to be a balance, but here's the thing. Multiple games this year, 6 of 8, multiple games where he has 20-plus points on great efficiency. Maybe it's actually just the best thing is to have a ball-dominant scoring guy. We'll see. I need to see more games of this. But right now, Bones just looks to me like a 16, 17 point per game scorer.
And Malone trusts him, right?
Totally.
Well, I mean, you trust him. I don't know.
extent.
I
With
don't
the
know.
minutes.
Because
With the minutes.
tonight is the night where whether you trust him or not, you get to play him.
Yeah.
So we'll find out what happens when the Nuggets are down 2 and, he has a bad run or a bad play or two. Does Malone say, hey, you have to live with the ups and downs, give him another chance? Or is he a little tighter? I don't know that yet.
I would frame it this way, though. Malone believes in him.
Yeah.
I think he knows he's young, and there's a lesson to learn across these 82, but he thinks he can do it.
Give us another one, Kale. All Nuggets are good. Shout out Dev.
Shout out
High
Dev.
City, babe. Why shout out Dev?
Yeah, why not?
Shout out Dave!
Yeah.
What did Dev do? He left you. I mean, he's already
Good-looking
home.
guy.
He's a
Check it out.
good
He is a
looking guy. He's a good looking
guy,
guy. Jahed says, saw Dev at the game, fist bumped him, and blanked and called him D-line.
You know what? We heard about this
We
one.
did hear
We
about
did
it,
hear
actually.
about this one.
What's that? He
just-
super
he
chatted. He super
super-chatted.
chatted. He said, my bad.
Dev forgives
His
you.
face, though.
Dev forgives you.
Yeah.
His face sells it all right there.
He said,
He's
tells it
horrible.
all.
He's like, oh, it's horrible.
Come on, man. Come on. Astray says, Malone is comparing Bones to Iverson. Someone that Bones has said before he admires. Bones is the next coming of AI confirmed. Again, man, I say Kyrie, but Iverson and Kyrie very similar in that regard. Just so quick, crafty with the handle, and just a knack for scoring. Like the thing that's about AI, for people that didn't really watch his game or whatever, AI just scored, and he could score differently every time. Like James Harden scores the same 4 ways every time he comes down, right? It's like the 4
Drive,
thing,
foul,
step
foul,
back,
drive.
whatever, rip the thing, whatever. But like Iverson was one of those guys that could be off balance, one hand, and like he just had a knack for how to like find the tiniest space, get it up, and make it every time. And I think Bones has a lot of that too. Like he does some of the same
pass,
things.
Though he wants to pass a little bit, though. He does. If he doesn't have the shot, he'll try to shoot it. But if he doesn't have the shot, he will pass it off. Whereas AI, from when I was 2008, 2009, he would not want to pass that.
I think their passing is very much the same in that
Yeah.
they are they're best when they are looking to score, and if the defense helps, the guy that helps is open. Like this,
Yeah.
it's not like Chris Paul, who sometimes will do things, set the table, and get the ball where it's supposed to go, or
And then shoot.
you know what I mean. But it's more like I'm trying to score. Oh, defense got compromised. I dropped it off, or I kicked it out, or whatever. But he is a very good passer, and I do wonder. I think that unit. You play a little with Bruce Brown. He's a good secondary ball handler. They have some options that they can throw him out there, but I just think that his scoring is going to put so much pressure on teams, and it's going to work very, very nicely. Let's get it. One last one. We got one more. Tom says, 3 words. Mile High City, baby.
Yeah.
Close. So close. That's 4 words, right?
It is 4.
Do we think Tom knows this?
You know what? Tom,
Mile
maybe.
high might be like
Yeah.
one conjoined word.
yeah.
Before I get you guys out of here, how was the party bus tonight?
If you have a chance to come, you have to come out. The vibes in that bus are immaculate. They hook you up with the Breck Brew beer.
What'd
It
you
is-
have?
Oh, I had 2 Vanilla Porter Juniors. of
Were they just
course.
straight vanilla porter junior?
So I had a raspberry one and a cookie one.
How were they?
Okay,
I've never had them. I've never had them.
So the raspberry one I've had actually at the farmhouse.
Oh, wow.
It's almost better in a can.
Really?
Because I feel like there's too much syrup at the bottom of the
Okay.
regular ones. This one tasted fantastic.
Okay.
The cookie one, I don't know if it was that I've already had enough to drink.
Okay.
That it tasted great, or if it did taste great. Either way, a great time. Please, please, please come out and join us.
The
It's so
beer
much
to
fun.
drink when you were hammered.
Your
No beer to drink.
Your check is in the mail, Alejandro.
Thank you
By
so
the way,
much.
apparently Bone said post game 3 words. Mile High City, baby.
Oh, that's what he said?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
That's
yeah.
better
I
that
love
way.
it. You know what, though? He's right. Mile High City is the 3 words.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
And then the baby's more of like an
If I said,
expression. Like
I got 4 letters for you. DNVR, baby. Like,
Yeah,
it makes
sure.
sense. Like I got 3
Sure.
words for you. Mile High City. Baby.
Love
Baby.
it. Love it.
I think it's right. All right, fellas. Thank you guys
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
hopping on.
Thanks, bud.
We got
Pleasure
2
to meet
more.
you.
We got 2 more. You hopping
birthday
on?
boy,
Birthday
you want on?
He's getting stage fright. He's going to say something really dumb. Are you going to say something really dumb? He's nervous.
I do that for a living,
Palms are sweaty. Knees weak. Here he comes.
I've never been on screen before.
Oh, my God. Don't blow it.
I've
Don't
never
blow
been
it.
on a
There you go.
screen before.
All right, so it's your
Oh,
birthday.
my wife didn't want to come up.
That's fine. We get a lot. So, how was the birthday?
The birthday was amazing. I mean, immaculate vibes. Nuggets win. The party bus, first time doing that. First time being at the bar in general. You guys have an amazing setup here.
So we're not lying, right? We tell people like, hey, you're going to enjoy the party bus. You should sign up. You'll come out. You
guys aren't lying. And, you know, like I was about to spend like $400 a ticket to sit the row behind the bench. I was totally so glad I did this instead.
Because it's also fun. The other thing people don't know about the party bus is y'all get to sit together, and then like you have the rowdy group. You know what I mean? It's like it's like the rowdy group where everybody's kind of cheering.
I don't think anybody sat on the bus ride back.
Really?
I think we were all dancing, just bumping to the music.
Love it.
Brandon left the speaker up there. We were just partying on. It was so much fun.
We bring the club. The club is on the bus.
The club is on the bus for sure. All right, well, give us your takeaway from the game. What's your big takeaway? I'll start with Ray. I'll let Ray go. Everybody knows King of the Chat, Ray.
Wow. I mean, if you score every time, what else matters?
Do you know the Nuggets, when Michael Porter, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon were on the court tonight, almost a 150 offensive rating?
Yeah.
So when you say they score every time down the court, you're actually not exaggerating.
It's ridiculous. Like, I could pick about little things defensively, reboundings they didn't get, but, like, if you can play offense like that consistently.
What's your big takeaway?
Well, piggybacking off of that, like, we might only need a top 10 defense, not a top 5 defense, if we just can score every time down the court. I kind of think of when the Chiefs won that Super Bowl a few years back. I think I was talking to you about this before the game.
Right.
They didn't have a great defense, but they came up with stops when they needed to.
Yes, shout out to
And
Matt
they
Moore.
had the best offensive player and somebody that could just make things happen when things needed to happen. And
right.
I think that'll be the formula if it happens.
That's because I don't see us ending up with a top 3, top 5 defense. Like,
no.
Maybe we can be playing at that level at the end of the season, but even then, I think at best we're going to be playing top 5 level at the end of the season.
Right.
And, you know, you see last year it was the top 1 and 2 defenses in the finals. But with our offense, I think we can counteract that and be a 7, 8, 9 defense and still outscore everybody.
Right.
I think that's true. Or I think it's their avenue if it happens.
Ray, how much of this game was Spurs on a back-to-back? How much of this is Spurs are not good? And how much of this is Nuggets are really good?
I think Nikola took it a little bit more seriously than he has prior games, and I think that matters a lot in terms of
the energy the team
setting
has.
the tone
I agree.
for everyone else. I think everyone kind of keys into that.
That's a really interesting point. I think you're right.
By halftime, it wasn't one of those games where you see Jokic and he has like single-digit points. You know, he was right there with Jamal, right there with Mike, right there with Bones. So
Pirtle was trying to take it to him early too. I mean,
he did his
early.
best.
He made some damage in the first quarter, and I was like, "Yoke, you got to play some more defense." But it happened. It all happened. He showed he was the better player.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Bones tonight?
Fun.
What don't I think of Bones? Like,
but honestly, like he's missed some games tonight. How much of this was just garbage time? He was dominating in what was a glorified pickup game at that point, or how much of it is like, no, man, this team we haven't seen. Bones is like the one player we haven't quite seen fully unlocked, other than tonight and one other night. But it's because he's missed a lot of games. But is this Bones a guy we're going to see once a week, twice a week, or is this a guy maybe once a month?
I think we're going to see it a lot more regularly, particularly because I think he's negotiating this balance between being a playmaker, being a floor general, and being himself.
Yeah.
Who is a
Be
bucket.
Bones.
And I think the more he can have confidence in that belief that, first and foremost, I'm a bucket. Like, I think
it really is first and
that's
foremost
going to matter
with
a
him.
lot, and he can create off of that. He can create opportunities for other people once he's established himself and gotten himself going.
He's like the opposite of Monte, but not in a bad way. He has his own priorities, but I think they still will do the same things that the Nuggets need for their bench.
Sure.
Yeah. We're waiting for Harrison Wynn live from the arena. I'm told he is setting up as we speak. We don't have him yet, do we, Kel? Who is the Nugget you feel you are most high on, or more high on than the rest of the fan base? It could be a guy everybody else is high on. You're just even, up here on.
I mean, I think Porter is going to shoot 50% from three.
You know what, though? Is that a hot take at this point?
No,
how many
it's not.
peppers is Michael Porter's going to shoot 50% this year?
I think it's
not
three
a hot
peppers,
take.
right?
I would say three
But
peppers.
50% from three. He's going to shoot
Yeah,
30%
well, yeah.
from two. He's going to shoot 50% from three.
Yeah.
I get upset when he shoots a 2-point shot. I'm like, I want you to only shoot three.
There is a world where he just like figures out how to only shoot threes. Like, I don't think it's a good world, but I'm just saying
He does a lot of those catch the ball with a wide open shot and then take a dribble into a harder shot.
Totally.
And then still makes it. Still makes it.
It's the whole roller coaster of like,
But I'm like,
come on.
Mike, why'd you
All
take the dribble? Okay,
And then you go, you
it's
know what?
awesome.
It went in.
Yeah,
you know?
Mike.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mike.
yeah, Mike is the next shirt I'm going to buy.
Yeah, there you go, man. There you go. Ray, who's it for you?
If you knew me in the past, you knew I was a believer. This year, I'm a Vlatko guy.
Oh, who?
I'm a Vlatko guy.
Oh, Vlatko Chachar. I love it.
I know.
That's a real
Everyone
answer.
laughs.
Let's go.
Here's the thing. Let me make the case.
We need to get the hipster picture of the guy drinking an IPA at a bar.
it.
Just every time a hipster take comes on, just throw it on
That's
the
just
screen.
Ray.
I love that the bench has star power. I love that they have that leadership. I love that Mike is there. I love that Bones is there. I also think one of the important things for the bench and their consistency is just having a guy who's going to play the right way, who's going to give consistent effort, who's going to make the right decisions, not necessarily make it about himself. And I think that's what Vlatko does.
Yeah.
And so if he does get an opportunity, if you need him to play, I think he's going to do well.
Yeah. I'm just so high on it. Michael Porter, I will say, I still want to see, like, you get greedy. You know, like, I'm already over the hump. We're not even 10 games in, and I'm, like, ready to move the goalpost for, like, okay, we're ready for this next phase. For me, Jamal Murray, well, no, what I'm saying is Jamal Murray now, to me, has strung 2 games in a row where he looked hyper-confident. I don't think he's back, but I think he's, like, in a new phase, right?
Yeah.
He's not where he was.
But he's a better
He's
player.
in another level
Yeah.
up, and the next one after that might be back. I don't know, but he's definitely at a level that's higher than he was to start the season. Michael Porter, to me, has been so good staying in the lines, knowing his role, and excelling within a limited role. I want to see him get a few more shots up, and that's on the team, but it's also, I think, on him, because there are pockets where I think he can kind of shoot. Denver's scoring fine right now. It's not like we need to make an adjustment. I just think he can find 1 or 2 shots even in the flow.
I think I have an example of what you're talking about. There was a play where he was inbounding the ball tonight where he gives it to Jokic, and I'm thinking he's going to go to the free throw line, cut off of Jokic, and get an easy shot. Okay. He goes under Jokic into like an awkward sort of like doesn't really get open in the way that he could. And I think it's those like little things that he can do better.
Totally.
And I think he wants to, though. I honestly think he wants to, and I think he'll get there. Do we have Harrison Wind live from the arena? Let's bring him on in, live from Ball Arena, home of the undefeated Denver Nuggets. Oh, my God, look at that tiny little thing. Tiny little Harrison Wind. There he is. Make him big. Harrison, I love it. The camera up high. I love it.
This for you, man.
I love it. This is like my wife bought me this new webcam for my bird feeder.
Nice.
That's what it looks like. Harrison looks like one of the birds in the feeder.
Okay, well.
Not just because of the angle. I'm just saying it's because of the angle, Harrison.
And the head nod. The head nod works.
Yeah, that actually is kind of birdie.
Wind, hell of a night at Ball Arena tonight.
This was the most fun I've had watching the Nuggets, and I can't even remember how long.
Yeah.
I had so much fun tonight, man. I can't remember a game when there were more highlight plays than there were tonight. Like, I think Mike Singer is really pissed at me for how crazy I was going on press run. I think he's pissed at me. I sit next to Mike every game. I think he's a little upset.
He's like, calm down, Harrison. You're like, sorry, I thought we were back in Serbia where the press just like openly waves flags for the game. It's actually odd. Why does the press have to not cheer?
Especially the home press.
You're not hurting anyone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who cares?
Yeah, it's not even that I'm cheering. I'm just reacting.
You're just a human being.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Walk us in then. You're right, though, by the way. This was a highlight reel that was like, watch the full, they give the 15-minute recap or highlight reel. Watch all of it because there's just so much goodness in there. Take us behind the scenes, man. What happened in the locker room and at the postgame?
So we talked with Michael Malone, and he led off talking about Bones Highland, and he's told this story before, but he repeated it again, how when Philadelphia drafted Allen Iverson a while ago, he went to Summer League with the 76ers, and some of their coaches were like, why isn't AI getting his teammates involved? And from that point on, like, the 76ers just let Allen Iverson be Allen Iverson. And Michael Malone has always said that he just let Bones Highland be Bones Highland.
Yeah.
And you got to know the player that you draft. And I think tonight, like, obviously Bones Highland was Bones Highland, but Malone every step of the way has always encouraged him. He's always let him play through mistakes, and he just let Bones be Bones, and that's what we saw tonight.
We'll test that theory, I'm sure, against tougher competition, but you know what? I do think there's something to it. He was great tonight.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
And then, Malone did make a point to say that, yes, we got the win, great win, we were unselfish, we passed the ball. He loved the high assist total tonight and how a lot of the highlight level plays came via assists. Like, that's what he loved most about those plays. But Malone did say that, like, look, I don't know if we have everything figured out yet. He definitely, I don't think Malone has a confident read on what he's going to get from his guys night to night quite yet. I think they're closer than they've been, but Malone, to me tonight, he's still not willing to go there like he's got it all figured out.
Yeah, look, I'm more confident than him. I'm more confident, I think, than I've ever been in the Nuggets, honestly. And I know I know people will think this is a little reactionary, but we've been talking about it even the last 2-3 games. The reasons they've not looked good to me were like, well, yeah, that's circumstantial.
Continuity.
Bones isn't there, or somebody's not healthy, Michael Porter's not, whatever it was. But I'm feeling good. I know Michael Malone's going to feel that way. I do think Denver's going to have lulls and slumps and different things.
Totally.
But I just look at the firepower and I'm like, tonight they all were in a groove and they all had it going. But two of them could have not had it going tonight. They still would have won by 15. Mm-hmm. You know what? They just got so much weapons.
They've got a lot of room.
Yeah.
And then Malone was talking about Jamal Murray's game, and he said that, look, we think we can get really good offense with Jamal Murray in the post. And the Nuggets are in the same play 3 times in a row to start the game. And if the ball went to Jamal Murray in the post, I think on like 3 of Denver's first 4 possessions. They scored 3 times out of that right at the start of the game. So I think that's something we're going to see more with Jamal going forward.
I mean, some of this is, though, if a defense warrants it, And Murray is bigger than a lot of guards, but, I mean, he was way bigger than Trey Jones.
Way bigger.
Yeah. Some of it is just that they had the right matchup to really punish him tonight.
Yeah. And then the defensive player of the game chain went to, any guesses?
Defensive player of the game chain, KCP?
Kenny Pope.
Kenny Pope. I'm sorry, Kenny Pope.
Yes,
Kenny Pope.
Yes, breach.
He's incredible. What did Malone say about Kenny Pope tonight? I'm curious.
Oh, he's fully frozen.
Oh, is that Harrison frozen?
Yeah, I was waiting. I couldn't tell.
There you go.
back.
On purpose.
All right, what did he say about Kenny Pope?
He actually said something really interesting. He says Kenny Pope has something called a license on defense. And Gary Harris also had this license on defense. And I think Bruce Brown had it too, Malone said. I've gone to back and listened to the quote, but he's got more leeway on the defensive end of the floor than other guys do in terms of just like going outside the scheme and whatnot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting comment to me because he's an extremely effective defender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Malone just really trusts him defensively.
For good reason.
Yeah. We talked about Tyler too.
Do you think
of course we did.
Yeah. AirPods.
All right, go on.
What's wrong? My sound's not good?
It's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, it's not great.
It doesn't matter.
You got this.
This is how I do it. This is how I do it every game.
Yeah.
No different. Bo said, look, I was in that zone tonight. Where the basket looked huge. He said his hip didn't bother him at all. He wanted to play last game. He felt like he could have played last game, but Denver held him out. He said he especially loves threes by the other team's bench. That's one of his favorite shots, he said.
That's hilarious.
He also said he came off the screen tonight and he was trying to locate the logo to pull up from 3 from the logo.
He's gonna do it for us one time this year. He's gonna do it. He told us on the show he's gonna shoot it literally from there, and he's gonna do it one time.
You know why I love Bones? He'll lie right to your face. What a
But
guy.
he won't think he's lying.
That's
right. That's so awesome.
Well, how about this? Going off of Malone's story about Allen Iverson, Bones Highland said he's been in contact in the past and still stays in contact from time to time with Allen Iverson.
Man, I love that.
This guy.
Iverson is, though, you know what? I know Iverson well enough to say he's gonna love Bones, though. Like that's AI gives love to so many players. Like he just loves basketball, he loves hoopers, but he's gonna really love Bones.
He plays his style.
He plays his style.
He wears
man.
his number.
Kind of has a similar energy, man.
He brings
I'm telling
joy.
you. Yeah, he just brings joy. Iverson brings joy. All right, what else?
Yeah. And then the line of the night from Bones. He was asked about his favorite play. And he didn't say a 3. He said his pass to Bruce Brown, an assist.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
And then Bones said, those plays make 2 people happy.
That's a Jokic quote right there. That's a Jokic quote right there.
He's the best. Honestly, he's too good at it.
Who's
man.
a better panderer than Bones? No one.
He's campaigning for Mr. Nugget.
That's right.
The thing is, and I know Vogt just said he lies to our face all the time. I don't know. He said that he had no idea that was Joker's line.
Yeah, he's lying.
I love it.
You know,
again.
Sure.
I don't care,
the
man.
lying meme?
The lie is too sweet.
It's
I
awesome.
lie to me, baby.
Keep lying.
Keep lying to me.
He thinks it's true. Though.
Hey, man, maybe it is true. I don't know. You know, who knows? All right, what else?
We talked to Joker as well. He especially liked how Denver was sharing the ball tonight. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like, Joker was so in his bag tonight.
Yeah.
He was trying shit that he doesn't normally try. He's never thrown a between the legs pass like that.
Oh, you're so right. I forgot about it. You know what? Michael Porter wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for it.
He dribbled into a harder shot.
But you know what? That was a meaningful play to me, though, tonight. You're right, because that was like a giving Mike, one, trying to give Mike an assist, and two, just like, hey, I got you. I don't know. It just was like a joyful, connecting moment where I was like, hell yeah, yo. Give Porter a little one. And then, yeah, Mike dribbling it straight
He had
forward.
a wide open
like,
three and dribbled into a contested 2 that he missed.
Hopefully he can remember. You know, like, I might get the ball here.
Yeah.
He was trying shit that he isn't crazy enough to try all the time. I love this quote from Nikola on Jamal Murray and how he's progressing. Of course, Nikola said, like, right before the season started, he's going to be bad for 20 games. Nikola said tonight, you need to play bad before you play good. I love that. I love that.
Dude, he's the best. I'm telling you. He's Chance the Gardener. None of you guys will catch that reference. All right, keep going.
Yeah, no.
He was also talking about Michael Porter, what he's thought of him this season. He mentioned his rebounding specifically. And then he also said, whenever I pass him the ball, I think it's going in.
Man. Same, man.
Strong
Especially
agree.
when it's a 3.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then he was asked about Bones saying how his favorite play was the assist, and those plays make 2 people happy. And Joker, I think, is on Brennan Vogt's side. He thinks that Bones stole it.
Because he did, but
I love this like fan fiction world where Yoke like in the parking lot, it's like, Bones, come over here. You still in my line, bro? Like the little tense little beef. Like, hey man, that's my line. You don't see me saying Mile High City, baby.
he should do that next time.
His next post game, he should just be like Mile High City, baby.
The team is torn apart by vibes.
I'm pretty sure Christian
I don't think you guys saw Bones' on-court interview after the game tonight. He got a Mile High City baby in there twice in one interview.
Hell yeah, man. All-timer.
That kind of
Absolute
night.
all-timer.
That kind of night.
Yeah.
Campaigning for Mr. Nugget.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Man, my guy Walter caught me. My guy Walter in the chat. Hell yeah. One person gets my reference. It's a great movie.
Of course, his name is Walter.
Of course.
All right, later. Hope we get home safe. Good stuff. Hit that outro music,
Let's
Cal.
go hang out with the.
I want to go hang out with the homies. Party bus.
Let's go celebrate the win.
So, I want to try a vanilla porter peanut butter. Actually, I
Wait.
think cookie.
You guys want to end on a really fun note?
Yes.
It's a custom made around the association.
Oh, let's do it.
Because
Oh,
we're
wait,
going
wait.
outside of the association.
Oh, wait, what?
Okay.
The Philadelphia sports community had not one but 2 chances to win a world championship today.
They lost the MLS.
Does anyone know how many world championships they won today?
Oh, wow.
Is it 0?
Zero.
Wow.
They lost the MLS in penalty kicks.
What a night. Enjoy your weekend.
I'm basking in the glow right now.
Goodbye, everybody. Hit that like button on the way out.
It was fun.